Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a rundown on how I assemble this overhead 360 booth. I start with the left and right pillars, and I assemble these pillars into the overhead truss using the letters assigned to each pole. It's pretty self-explanatory on the approach. They come labeled, so there's no guesswork. This is where I tether the power cable that goes to the overhead motor to the bottom of the truss and sort of tie it off there on the foot so that when I plug in power, it's already there. This is something that needs to be done before you seal the leg fabric, the fabric wrap. This fabric wrap is a package, an advertising package, a branded advertising package that I sold with the rental.
Hi.
Excellent. Yourself?
Does it make more sense for you to be on that wall as opposed to this wall?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's
Do you
okay.
need tables?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then we'll leave those there.
Okay.
So I'm stretching the fabric down, the fabric wrap down on both sides of the legs to zip that up. Zipping it up really provides a structural integrity quite a bit. It adds to it. It complements the whole structure. There's a lot less swaying. It looks clean. This takes a little bit of practice. This is probably the hardest part of the whole setup is zipping this up. But once you stretch it long enough, it'll zip up and looks very clean when it's finished, said and done. So I'm just going to wrap up with the selfie arm, which is basically a monopod. And I swapped out the hardware with a ball head tripod, or with a ball head tripod head, onto the end of that selfie stick. The factory hardware that it comes with is entry level gear. So that's an upgraded ball head. I'll put the link in the description below. So now that the truss is up, you see how easily I lifted it with the arm. I don't always remember to do that. The approach is usually just to step on the toolbox and finish lifting it up. But this is meant to demonstrate that this can be a one-man show if you're tall enough or have the strength, upper body strength to carry the equipment. So the truss is never really the overhead part of the truss is never broken down. This is a three-part assembly on the overhead truss. It's the two pillars left and right with the overhead truss inserted and then zipped up. That's fairly quickly. The rest of the setup is the barriers, as you see here. I will assemble the barriers from out of the bag, but I leave the two end caps assembled so it minimizes assembly time on the approach. Same with the teardown. The idea is to set up quickly and tear down even faster. The fabrics zip up to the barrier walls nice and tight, very presentable. I'll set up the other barrier wall. And here our guests are now participating. I set up those tube lights. I'll put the link in the description below. As an ambience lighting, adding to it, I also have 2 lights equipped on the arm that's rotating. And I have a plastic cage instead of a metal one. I used to have a bunch of gear attached to that, but I needed to lighten the load on the gear. So all in all, this was a very fun, successful night for a corporate package located at the Ojai Valley Inn. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Comment below if you have any questions. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Thank you very much.